Hello, I'm Amanda Lowery. I'm a developmental specialist and play project consultant with Montgomery County Board Developmental Disabilities Services, and I'm here to discuss autism spectrum disorder and the intervention strategies that Montgomery County has adopted to help children and families who receive a diagnosis of autism. Autism is becoming more and more prevalent. It's likely that many of us know someone who has a diagnosis of autism. The graph from 2018 shows a 15% increase in autism nationally. In 2018, the number of children with autism increased to 1 in 59 from 1 in 68 2 years earlier. That number has changed even more now. In 2020, the number of children with autism has increased to 1 in 54. So many people may ask, what exactly is autism? Autism is a complex developmental disability that often causes significant social, communication, and behavioral challenges. Signs typically appear during early childhood, and autism is described as a spectrum condition. So it affects each individual differently and to varying degrees. So we may encounter one individual that is affected more severely by the disorder, and then we may see others who are mildly or moderately affected by autism. But the core features of autism are a deficit in social interest and relatedness. They're always going to, again, begin in early childhood, and then they are going to persist and affect the individual throughout their life. So, as early childhood professionals, caregivers, and family members, there are some things that we can look for that can be labeled as red flags for autism. And these would be things that we see a young child exhibiting that would warrant a discussion maybe with the pediatrician. So, some red flags. Children with autism may repeat certain behaviors and may not want change in their daily lives. With that being said, almost all toddlers dislike change and repeat certain behaviors. But with children with autism, you're going to see that too, a much higher degree, and it's going to be quite alarming. Children with autism have different ways of learning and reacting to things. They may avoid eye contact and prefer to be alone. They may repeat or echo words or phrases, and they may also repeat those phrases and words in place of functional language. So they may be saying juice, 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 or cracker, but they're not truly saying it because they want juice or a cracker, they're just saying it repeatedly. They may also repeat actions over and over again. Like that's when you would see some of that hand flapping, that rocking, the twirling of toys or objects. They have trouble expressing their wants and needs using words or gestures. They often have difficulty adapting when a routine changes. Sometimes we'll see a fixation on parts of a toy or an object. For example, they may really get stuck on the spinning of the wheels on toy cars. Other red flags that we sometimes see would be trouble relating to others or almost sometimes not even having an interest in other people at all. Sometimes we'll see children with autism not look at objects or toys um, to show interest in them when another person points to them. We also will see them not point to another object to show interest. So if they were outside and an airplane flew overhead, a child with autism typically would not point to that to show interest. They seem to be unaware when people talk to them sometimes, but then will respond to other sounds. A lot of times, children with autism will lose skills that they once had. For example, they'll stop saying words that they were once saying or using meaningfully. And then children with autism typically do not engage in spontaneous or pretend play. So once a family has concerns for autism, a, a diagnosis and intervention is vital. So there is no specific medical test like a blood test to diagnose autism. Doctors examine a child's behavior and development in order to make a diagnosis. So a referral to a developmental pediatrician and is imperative. A diagnosis of autism typically involves 2 steps. There's a developmental screening, and then there's also a comprehensive diagnostic evaluation that happens second. Receiving that diagnosis can be overwhelming for everyone that's involved. So it's so important to help families understand that diagnosis. And the most important thing to understand is that the diagnosis is no one's fault. Currently, there's no single accepted cause for autism. Instead, there are lots of theories. It's widely accepted that autism is caused by multiple factors interacting in complex ways. So those include environmental, biologic, and genetic factors. It's generally also accepted that autism is caused by abnormalities in brain structure and function. So most scientists agree that genetics or genes are one of the many risk factors that make a person more likely to develop autism. So another possible reason for the core features of autism is a theory called the failure to prune. So as a baby's brain develops, there are explosions of synapses, and the connections allow neurons to send and receive signals. During childhood and adolescence, the brain needs to start pruning those synapses, and it gets rid of the ones that aren't used to make way for more brain development in specific areas. And studies have suggested that in children with autism, this process kind of goes awry, and they're left with an abundance of those synapses in certain parts of the brain. And this can help explain some of those symptoms that we see, like oversensitivity and some sensory concerns. So Montgomery County has adopted Play Project, or what we call play and language for autistic learners, as the intervention model and strategies for children who have received a diagnosis of autism. Play Project is a research-based autism program that focuses on play and relationships, and it supports the social and emotional growth of children with autism. The Play Project methods, their techniques, and principles lay the foundation of the intervention. It's a parent-implemented model, so families and caregivers are able to gain the skills and support their children and their social emotional growth. Caregivers also get to learn effective strategies to engage their children, so that their children are receiving this intensive intervention all throughout the day. Research shows that children on the autism spectrum have more success when parents are empowered and they provide the intervention at home. Play strategies and methods also become a regular part of the family routine and daily life. So it just comes naturally, it happens all the time. And Play Project consultants help families enter their child's world, and they join them so that their child can be more functional in daily life. And Play Project is also backed by ample research. Play Project is nationally and internationally recognized model of autism early intervention. Play Project has found that when parents successfully engage their child makes progress in their social interaction and development, and their autism symptoms improve. Parents who were involved in the Play Project showed a significant reduction in depression. And in addition to that, Play Project consultants go through a training process that is rigorous. And all of this information can be found, as well as an abundance of other information, at www.playproject.org. But as you have probably noticed, these strategies do look a little different than traditional therapy. So again, what exactly does a parent-implemented model look like? It uses a developmental framework that's based on what typical child development looks like. Again, it's natural, and it's a play-based approach. It occurs in a natural setting, wherever that child is at, home, in the community, at the park, wherever that is. It ensures that the interaction is initiated by the child. That initiation is critical. It's about following that child's lead and it's that child's idea. So when the child is initiating, engaging, they're doing it because they want to, and that's what we're going for. This type of model targets social interaction, which is the basis for verbal communication, and there's very little use of prompting and external rewards. So I've already mentioned there are benefits for the families and children when these strategies are used, but I'm going to highlight some of those again. For children, language is improved, overall development improves, behavior improves, social skills improve, autism severity improves. But in addition to the things that I've already mentioned for caregivers, they also receive individualized coaching that's tailored specifically to their unique child and their child's needs. And they're going to learn to identify their child's strengths and their child's needs. And they're going to make each interaction that they have with their child a learning experience. And they are able to effectively respond to their child's behaviors. And they help to prepare their child for preschool and kindergarten. This model empowers caregivers and families to have a closer, more satisfying relationship with their child, and that's so important. So finally, I would like to share a couple of video clips of play project strategies being utilized with a child named Haley. I think they highlight the transformation that she was able to make as play was implemented over the course of the year. The first video was the day that I met Haley and began implementing play strategies with her family. Take note, please, of the decreased eye contact. She places her back to me. She doesn't respond to her name. She often leaves the room and backs into a corner to avoid the interactions. And she's very object focused, and she does exhibit some challenging behaviors. So we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at Haley.
You share? Can she have a piece? Be careful. Can I see? Can I see? Hey, lady. Can I play? Come here. There's no air coming out of there.
I'm brand new.
Hey. Are you watching, Sissy?
Do you want the book? No.
Hey. Don't pick up the book and you just go for us, really?
Are you all done?
So that was Haley's first visit. And then our final video was filmed approximately a year later. It was the last play project visit I completed with Haley and her family. This is only a small clip of the interaction that lasted for approximately 25 to 30 minutes as we had a picnic with the baby doll. Haley gave eye contact and engaged in pretend play. She used spontaneous and functional language, including "let me see." She was able to answer WH, like what questions, appropriately when I asked her. She engaged in a little bit of problem solving. So Go ahead and take a look at Haley a year later.
Zip. Zip. What is that? Baby. Oh, hi, baby. Should we see? Oh, do you want it on? Oh, I don't know what that's doing in there. Silly, huh? You knew what it was for. Oh, babe. Eyes, nose, belly, belly. Ooh, what else is in here? Oh, baby, drink? Here. Good job. Is baby still thirsty? Drink. Oh. She's doing really good. Her pretend is great. Oh. What's this?
What's this?
Is it time to eat? Oh, look, a cookie for baby. Cookies. Oh, is this for baby? What else? Should we put on? Oop. Sock. On. Oop. Oop. There. Wah, wah, wah. Baby's hungry. Okay, baby, what should we do? Oh,
Cookies?
give her cookies. Here are cookies. Here, baby. Nom, 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 nom. Thank you. Good job. Nom, 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 nom. It's good. Very nice. She keeps testing it out like,
Here. Here, princess.
Here, princess. Very good words. Ooh, what are these for? Should we do baby's hair? Baby has. Oh, let me see. Good words, Haley. Oh, very nice.
So we have a princess hat.
Uh-huh.
Here.
Good job.
And that is a look at Haley approximately a year later. I hope that you've seen the impact that these strategies and early intervention can have in the lives of individuals and families, and I'm grateful that I got to share them with you.